Houston district either. So
great stuff. Well, hey, if you can hear us now, sorry, we came on a little bit early. We've been having, it's one of those days to where you just have those glitchy days. Apparently, we were muted, so we're going to restart here as far as that goes. Welcome in to Good Morning Huntsville. We are broadcasting live downtown from here, our studio, sponsored by our good friends at Elliott's Jewelers. And, man, it's an exciting morning here. We've got a lot going on. Kaye Boehning from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools joining us here this morning. And we'll be talking about the event that they're having, a big run coming up. That's a huge fundraiser. Also, Sandy Harding from the Junior Service League will be joining us as well a little bit later on this morning to talk about some things that they're doing. But, Kaye, we'll just restart. We were just sitting there chatting away, and thank goodness for our friends on Facebook saying, hey, we can't hear you. And we unmuted you. But here we go. Excited today on a Friday.
I told you, technological issues. I bring them.
You know what it is? Check this out. Here's the deal. Let me reset here. Here's what's going on this morning, friends, by the way. If you notice behind us, this beautiful, sunrise. And for some reason, we're out here in the middle of a field this morning. That's why we're having technical issues, out here in the middle of a grassy field. And the issue is, we don't have good internet out here in this field. Somehow we were able to bring a table out in the field. Just kidding. We're utilizing our green screen this morning. It's a lot of fun. We'll bring different backgrounds to you as well. Just don't expect that sun to rise any more than it already is. Kaye, fun morning here on a Friday. How have you been? I was joking earlier. I said, Rick tends to think, your husband, we love him. He thinks that he brings the energy, but really it's you. You're the one who brings the energy. How have you been?
I've been great.
Well, it's always good to see you. I was chatting earlier whenever we were still muted. Now that we're unmuted, you've been so involved in this community, Kaye, so engaged. It's good to be back around you. And just anywhere you are, you always light up a room because of your energy, because of your love for people and your passion for Huntsville. You're always engaged at chamber events. We see you around town doing a lot of different things as well. Before we dig into the run that's coming up, because I want to talk more about that. That is a huge event. That's what we really want to promote here this morning. Your business, Tomorrow's Promise, is a child care facility, not a daycare facility, by the way. Mm-hmm. And I'll be able to add to that here in a little bit because our daughter Braylon was blessed to be there with you guys before we left, and now we're back, so we're going to get her re-enrolled before too long.
Yay, we miss Braylon.
But you won an award, a very prestigious award. You kind of glossed over it earlier. Tell us about it.
We won the 2023 SBA/SCORE Houston District Rural Small Business Owner of the Year Award. And no child care center that they were ever aware of has ever won that kind of award. And I don't think anybody in Walker County has ever won one of these awards.
Yeah, and I don't even believe like an SBA award. So not only that, but not just the SBA award, but for a child care facility, pretty amazing feat. So I know that you're very humble, but I did want to make sure that we talk about that because that is such a huge feat for what you do. And it just goes to show your involvement, Kaye, and what you've been able to do over the years. We'll dig into Tomorrow's Promise a little bit more next week because you are now our new co-host on the show 1 day a week. So excited to have you here. And
we're excited to be here.
And we'll let Rick in once in a while if you're okay with it. So we'll figure out if we can get Rick in here once in a while and get him in. But it's so many great things going on at Tomorrow's Promise. 2 locations now.
Mm-hmm.
And
working on a third.
Yeah, working on a third. Mm-hmm. My goodness. See, this is how things are rocking and rolling for you guys.
And I love what you're doing because, so much of the news is negative, and to bring something positive every day, that's a great way to start your day off.
Yeah, we got to make sure that we have everything positive here. And in Huntsville, it is an opportunity just to wake up every day and be blessed. As we were talking earlier, you look outside, and we're right here downtown on the beautiful square, and not hardly a cloud in sight. Things get a little rainy later on tonight and over Saturday, but overall it's always so beautiful to be down here. And one thing that I've loved about being in this downtown setting is just seeing the folks that walk by each morning. We were joking around. What's that show like Good Morning America where they have the windows behind them? And everybody holds up banners and signs. I don't ever watch any of that, but I think
I'm always at work. There's a show.
Yeah, you're like, is there a show that goes on at this time of the day?
I've heard of some sort of show, but I'm usually at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So
I'm not a big fan of watching morning show. I'm a big fan of doing a morning show now, especially with you. But we're gonna have to turn the camera, and then one day after we keep this going, we'll have crowds back here. Elliott Herzlich of Elliott's Jewelers said he'll be the first one to hold up a big banner for us back there behind the scenes. By the way, here in studio this morning is Elliott Herzlich. He's in the studio audience today. Wanted to come by and say hello, and so we appreciate Elliott being here as well. But Kay, big event coming up, and I need to talk about this because it's huge for you guys. Now, Tomorrow's Promise, and correct me if I'm wrong, is ran as a nonprofit.
Yes, it's a nonprofit, which is kind of ironic that we got Business Owner of the Year because I don't actually own Tomorrow's Promise. But that's the award I got.
Yeah, and that's
And they knew that I'm a nonprofit when they gave me Business Owner of the Year. So I kind of fit in a weird sort of way, not their technical title.
yeah. But it's more of the Kaye Boehning humbleness because there you go again. You don't even technically own the business, but you got the award. And it's just a huge feat for what you've been able to do over the years. And how long has Tomorrow's Promise, been going? Because I do want to segue. We do have to talk a little bit about the business to kind of segue into why this run is happening. How did you get the idea? How long have you been in business?
I started it 25 years ago. When I moved to Huntsville, God laid on my heart that I needed to open a Montessori school. And I went and got the training in Houston Montessori Center. First class they offered after I got here. And I probably have the distinction of being the only idiot to open a school 2 weeks later after finishing the training. But I finished my training and opened the school. I wanted to bring Montessori to Huntsville, and I have my master's degree in education, and when I was working on my master's degree, my son was in a Montessori school, and I kept comparing how he was learning to what I was learning to how to teach, and I just fell in love with how he was doing it. And the children work at their own pace. They master something before they go on. It's not, we're on page 5 today, we need to be on page 6 the next day. They're allowed to excel. They're allowed extra time if they need that extra time to master something. But I just fell in love with the system, and I wanted to bring it here for the same price if the children were at a daycare just watching TV and going home at the end of the day safe.
I think it's
I
one
wanted
thing,
to teach them.
Yeah, it's one thing too, and I'm just updating a couple of things here. We have some folks on social that are hopping in and want to make sure that we say hello to them. So I always monitor that too to my side. If you saw me look down there, but it's an opportunity for kids, as you said, and I love this because you can kind of go at your own pace, and it really enables children an opportunity to excel, to really utilize their talents and not be on. And I'm not knocking, other organizations because everything has their place. I grew up in public schools. I learned a lot. Very thankful for that. But it's cool to have another option. If you said, hey, my kids may have this talent and they just want to be able to utilize that more or work at their own pace, and that's what Montessori does.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Google?
I have, yeah.
Or Wikipedia? Amazon?
What are those?
Microsoft?
I've never heard of Microsoft. I'm just kidding.
All of those founders were Montessori preschool students. Not necessarily elementary students, but preschool students. Julia Child, Anne Frank, Prince Harry and William, Chelsea Clinton. People that have money send their children to Montessori schools. And that's what I wanted to do for Huntsville, was bring it and make it affordable to bring that type of education here.
Yeah, it's great.
50% of everything you know today, you learn by the age of 4. People don't realize how important those first 5 years of life are. And that's why I've spent my life working with that first 5 years of life.
It's incredible that you say that. And again, this morning we're talking to our good friend Kaye Boehning from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and it's really interesting that you say that, and we will highlight the run. I know that's the big thing that we want to make sure that we talk about, but this is a good segue because we needed to talk about, kind of why you set up and why you're here in Huntsville and how important it is. It's interesting that you say that within the first 4 to 5 years that the child, that is some of their most critical and most, biggest development. And I think a lot about our daughter, Braylon. And by the way, we had Braylon at Tomorrow's Promise there in the early stages of her life. I'll be honest, mainly because Bridget needed a break. And but once we got involved, just the care and the compassion that your staff, Rachel was always so generous to us and so amazing. And we'll get her back in there now that we're back in Huntsville. But you're right. I started reading. Someone told me, read to your child while the child is still in the womb, because they start to kind of pick up on your voice. And Braylon has had this affection for books from the day she was born. And it's so awesome to watch her sitting on the floor flipping through a book. And Bridget and I make it a very dedicated routine, no matter what, that we're always going to read to her every night before she goes to bed. So we read to her, then we say a prayer, and then and then we go to sleep. And I will tell you this. I know kids grow and learn at different stages and different rates. Like, she didn't start walking. She's 16 months old now. She didn't start walking until about 3 weeks ago. And there's other kids that are walking at 9 months.
Yes.
But I will tell you this, and I attribute a lot of the reading that we've done to her. Her vocabulary is extremely expansive right now. I mean, she can probably say over 100 words. And now, at 16 months, she's starting to formulate segments of sentences. And I attribute that to reading to them. And
It is.
And I think about those first 4 years, and you're so right. That's why I think of, like, man, it's so critical to teach her and to try to teach her, I don't want to say like the right way, but to expose her to things that are going to help her grow later on in life. And that's what Montessori does.
We have what we call a prepared environment. It's very rich in things that the children can explore, and they're free to explore. We call it freedom within limits. I mean, you're free right now to drive to Houston. You're free to drive to Dallas. You're free to drive to College Station if you
Well,
want to.
if Bridget tells me, if she allows
Okay,
it.
within limits. But if you start driving 110 miles an hour on the left-hand side of the road, you're going to meet a nice officer that's going to put you in some silver bracelets. So that's your limit. You're free to go wherever you want, but you need to make sure that you're doing it within the reasonable manner. So we call it freedom within limits. There are rules, so to speak, but they're free to explore the environment, but they're not free to like take something and hit another child with it or something like that.
Yeah,
So-
if we did that, it wouldn't be in business. So, yeah, can't do that, but it's a great opportunity. And, of course, next week we're going to be highlighting a lot more about Tomorrow's Promise. Excited to have Kaye that will continue to be with us on a weekly opportunity now as one of our co-hosts and our Foundation 5. So, no, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, Kaye. So we're going to step aside, though. We're going to take a break. Stay with us. A lot of folks chiming in, so make sure you send those comments. As we always get started, I said it a little bit earlier, please let us know what you're thankful for this morning. We want you to wake up in the right attitude, and we want you just to know that there is so much to be thankful for. So maybe today you're struggling, you woke up and you said, I've had a rough night. There's been something that's happened overnight, and I'm just not feeling it today. Find that one thing, though. Dig deep this morning. Find that one thing. Let us know. Send it in your comments. Let us know what you're thankful for this morning, and we'll continue to encourage and lift you up here as we continue on Good Morning Huntsville. We will step aside, though. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about the 5K Imagination Fun Run
It's a
coming
great
up.
blessing to start a gratitude journal. I mean, sometimes just I woke up and I'm breathing.
That's it.
That might be all you can say is positive for right now.
That's
is
it.
So I woke up.
And we are your
But-
digital gratitude journal here on Good Morning Huntsville. We will step aside, though. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in about a minute. Stay with us. Got a lot more to come here this morning. Happy Friday. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back. Good morning, Huntsville. We are live here from the beautiful downtown square here in Huntsville, Texas. Our studio is sponsored by our good friends at Elliott's Jewelers. Got to give Elliott Herzlich a shout-out. You can visit them online at elliotsjewelers.com. If you watched on Monday and Tuesday, I talked about my beautiful band that I've got here. It is hammered. I thought it was like 10K white, and Elliott said, no, sir, that is 14-karat white gold. I didn't even know that existed. And a nice little gold band. Got a stud there for Bridget. And now I've got to add one for Braylon. I've got to add another one for Caden. And then I joked around and said, if the good Lord is willing and Bridget and I are willing, that thing's going to be filled up. My goal is to have that little stud all the way around. That'll represent kiddos. So I always joked around and said I wanted 5 or 6 kids. Maybe that'll happen. But I just turned 39. Time's not a friend right
you
now.
don't want 5 or 6 kids. You want 5 or 6 children.
Okay. Explain that. This is where we go. It gets a little deep here on the show. Okay, explain that, Kaye.
Well, what's the offspring of a goat?
A kid?
So do you want kids or do you want children?
I want little goats running around. I don't mind a little goat, That's all right.
But that's it. It's Tomorrow's Promise. We teach what the offspring of a cow is, what the offspring of a horse is, what the offspring of a goat is, and then we teach what the offspring of a human is, which is not a kid, is a child.
Can you, so this is going off on a tangent here. We're going to talk about the run, I promise. I haven't been saying that. But this is intriguing this morning because there's people listening that may not know this. The ones that you said, like a cow is a calf? Uh-huh. What were the other ones?
A horse
is a
foal or
see,
filly.
I didn't know that one.
A foal can be male or female. Filly or a colt is female or male.
We're not talking about the Northeast then when we say filly. What other ones are there? This is exciting this morning.
Well, there's sheep. We teach
What's
chickens. Sheep? A lamb.
Okay, yeah, see, I knew that one. Chickens?
Is a pullet.
A pullet. I didn't know this. You're going to get a little education burst here this morning on Good Morning Huntsville as well. So you never know.
And so what Montessori is all about being respectful. And so when you call a child a kid, you're calling him a baby goat.
Okay. So I will never do that again.
It's hard.
Man.
I learned this lesson when I was like 55, and I've been working the last couple of years to really try to change, and I will slip every once in a while and say kid, but I'm really working hard to say child because that's respectful.
Yeah, I like that. Well, you brought up a good point because whenever I'm calling sports, I'm always saying, hey, I want to promote the kids, and coaches always say kids. And so now from a football coach perspective, when you say kids, it may be accurate because there are a bunch of little goats running around out there. They're running around. But Kaye Boehning joining us this morning from Tomorrow's Promise. Good morning to you. A lot of folks joining us here on the Facebook live stream. Thank you for waking up with us on a beautiful Friday. We've got an event coming up, a huge event that you need to be a part of, and it's going to support Tomorrow's Promise. They are a nonprofit doing a lot of great work with children here in Huntsville. It's already working. It's the third annual Run With Your Imagination 5K Color Run happening Saturday, April the 29th at 9 a.m. Wanted to get you on to talk about this event specifically a couple of weeks in advance to start letting folks know. Get it in your calendar. The marketing, by the way, has been awesome. I am seeing your banners all over town, Kaye, and we're going to continue to promote it here. Tell us about this run and why it started 3 years ago and what it's for.
Well, in 2018, we partnered with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and we're trying to bring books to the children. The program mails out a free book a month to the area children in Walker County until they're 5. All you have to do is go online to Dolly Parton and sign up and request for a book to be sent to your child, and I go in and approve it, and it's mailed out. Now, Dolly pays for the books to be made, and Tomorrow's Promise pays for the books to be shipped to the children. And it costs about $25 to $30 a year, depending on what kind of books are being sent out. Board books are a little bit more expensive. So it costs $30 a year to mail out the books to the children each month. And we're sending out over 850 books a month now. And so the run was started in order to help pay for that because, frankly, going around and asking everybody, all my friends all the time for money to help support the program was kind of probably getting a little old and not fun. So we started the run to have something fun. It was something different. You don't have to run. You can walk. You can crawl. You can get your stroller. We've had parents come and bring their strollers and push the children that have to finish the whole race. It's kind of a figure 8. So if you get tired, you can stop. We're also going to have bubbles this year at the finish line.
Awesome.
And Dr. Shepard with the superintendent of schools is going to come out and talk about the program and how it benefits the school district.
So a lot of different opportunities where you can get involved. Actually showing this on the screen here for you. It is the third annual Run With Your Imagination 5K Color Run. And you can go to runwithyourimaginationorg. Tomorrow's Promise putting this on. And, I talked about earlier, this isn't particularly to benefit Tomorrow's Promise for the literacy part of it.
It's to benefit all the children in Walker County.
Go a little bit more in depth about this because I don't want to skim over this. You mentioned Dolly Parton's program that she has in the books, and we've talked a lot about literacy. This kind of ties into Monday when we had B.J. McMichael on with the Time to Read. I think this ties in perfectly as well because, literacy is such an important part of any community, especially here in Huntsville. You got an opportunity to come out and support this, and And there was something that you mentioned yesterday at the Chamber Business Breakfast about donations that buy books. Talk a little bit more about that as well. I think it was like $250 will buy X amount of books for a year for a child.
$250 will sponsor 10 children for a year. Now, the problem that we have is when you look at the statistics, there's one book. If you're an economically disadvantaged household, there's an average of one book for every 300 children. So you might have one book among 300 households. Sadly, even a middle class household only has 13 books. If you sign up for the Dolly Parton program when they're born, then they'll have about 60 books by the time they start kindergarten. And we have a partnership now that we're starting with the hospital to have the applications for the Dolly Parton program there as soon as they are born, so that they can get signed up for the books and get the books in the hands of the children. I mean, you remember getting mail when you're a child, how exciting it is. I mean, it's exciting as an adult unless it's a bill. But these children...
Yeah, I was going to say it's changed a little bit now that you're an adult because you're like, oh, great, here's another bill coming in.
But, you know, the thing is for the children, you know, they're getting a book addressed to them, and they get excited every month. They want to be read to. The biggest complaint, in fact, about the program is, Mommy, read to me. You know, that's the biggest complaint about the program.
That's a great complaint.
You know, is that the children want to be read to all the time. But it makes a difference. A dollar spent at this level actually saves $17 spent at a higher level. It takes $17 to correct problems associated. So if we get them younger and we get them where they know what a book is, they've seen a book, they're going to school having seen a book, having the language development, the teacher has a much better chance of making sure everybody knows how to read. And then we've got a time to read to help catch those children that need a little bit of extra help. But you can raise or lower a child's IQ points by 25%. 25 points, depending on what happens to them those first 5 years.
Wow. And that's why it's so important.
Getting those books in the hands of the children is just absolutely imperative to and like I said at the chamber breakfast yesterday, everybody in that room, I said, everybody in this room, all these leaders, you all had books when you were growing up. Mm-hmm. And I saw almost every head shake. Yeah, we had books in the house growing up.
I like to just, I'm a big book collector, but the problem is my ADD. I read five chapters of a book, and then I move on to another book, and then I'm kind of bouncing around all over the place. It's not good, and it scrambles up my brain. But you know what? It's funny because I love books. I'm not like a Kindle fan. I just want to have the actual physical book so I can look through it.
There's actually studies about that. When you read it on Kindle, it doesn't go into your brain as well.
Wow.
When you have a book in your hand, you're touching it, you're smelling. I mean, you get all your five senses involved of touching the pages and turning the pages and everything. It goes into the brain. And that goes back to Montessori research, also backs that up, because the only way your brain gets any information is through its senses. And we have a whole subject area of the classroom that's devoted to sensorial to help develop those senses. But there is actually scientific studies that show putting a book in the hand. And so having computers and all this kind of stuff where we're teaching the children with Chromebooks and things like that is actually detrimental to their learning.
Wow.
Having the book in the hand is better.
And I was just thinking while you were talking, because of how many, again, not knocking any organizations, but we've moved to that shift now to textbooks. Everything is digital.
Well, and the American Pediatric Society says no screen time, no digital, everything for anybody under 2. And then they also recommend not to have digital learning, that it's better to have the books.
Wow. Awesome stuff this morning. Things to really soak in and listen to from Miss Kaye Boehning from Tomorrow's Promise. You can be involved with this run coming up. It is the 3rd annual Run with Your Imagination 5K Color Run, Saturday, April the 29th at 9 a.m. It's located at the Sam Houston State University Garrett Teacher Education Center. More information online at runwithyourimaginationorg. That's runwithyourimaginationorg. Is there a sign-up fee? Kind of how does this work with the run, by the way?
It's $30 for an adult, $25 if you're a college student, $20 if you're a child.
And $10 if you're a kid, right? I'm just kidding.
We've actually had dogs come. One year we had a little tan dog, and it was colored. It was so cute. It really enjoyed the run and having all the colors, and made all kinds of photos that we took of it.
Are you encouraging, because it is called the color run? So what is kind of the encouraged dress code? I mean, anybody can show up. You can wear whatever, but you're going to encourage a certain thing to be worn, I would assume.
Well, you get a free T-shirt.
Okay, so you get the free shirt then with your
a goodie bag.
Yeah.
So the shirt is full color, and on the back is full color logos. So you have a very colorful shirt. Now, Rick and I always come dressed for the occasion. We have on full color pants or full color shoes and a rainbow wigs.
I was going to say, the clowns. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. Kaye, again, you guys do such wonderful work in the community. We appreciate you so much. Want to encourage you this morning, friends, in Huntsville, and if you're close to the area, this isn't limited just to people in Huntsville. If you're throughout Walker County, maybe you're friends of mine back in the Central Texas area, you can still be a part of this. Just come on down to Huntsville, discover our beautiful city, and you can discover wonderful folks like Kaye and Rick and the great work that they do through Tomorrow's Promise. Again, the Run With Your Imagination 5K Color Run. Mark your calendars now, Saturday, April the 29th. You don't have to run. You can walk. Kaye even said you can crawl. I don't know. It's going to be a little tough crawling on the asphalt, but it'll show that you are a true, person of grit if you can crawl on asphalt. So that may be me. I'm getting to that age now to where I kind of feel like I'm not really a runner. I'm more of a walker.
We'll get you a wheelchair.
Get me a wheelchair. And, hey, by the way, I know all joking aside, if you are a person that is confined to a wheelchair, you're still able to come out and be a part of this event as well. More than welcome to be there. We want to show love to everybody and have an opportunity for anybody, no matter where they're at in life and what they're dealing with. They can come out and be a part of this, and I think it'll be a great opportunity.
Yes, we've had people of all ages and abilities out there in the previous years. It's been wonderful.
Awesome.
To see the support.
We'll step aside. We'll take a break. Miss Sandy Harding joining us in what we call our green room in the background. We're going to bring her on here in a minute, talk a little bit about the Junior Service League and the great work that they are doing. Stay with us. A lot more to come here as we're through the first half hour. We're going to go on, try to get that full hour in. We try to get going at 7. A little bit of a glitch got us going early this morning, but we still got about 30 minutes to go. So stay right here with us. Keep those comments coming. We'll flash them up on the screen. Got a lot more heading your way here on a beautiful Friday in Huntsville, Texas. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Dr. Shepard.
Welcome back in. Rob Hipp here on Good Morning Huntsville. Thanks for being a part of the show here today, and excited to bring you. I did want to mention real quick before we bring Sandy on that, by the way, Elliott's Jewelers is a title sponsor of the run. He's sitting right in front. He said, wait a minute, guys. He did not, but he's always been very, very involved, and so we appreciate Elliott again as well. Title sponsor. Check out Elliott's Jewelers online at elliotsjewelers.com.
And Elliott is from Tennessee and has seen how the program worked in Tennessee and what a difference it made in Tennessee. So he has been an advocate of ours since he arrived in town to help us out. It's been wonderful.
Awesome. We appreciate you, Elliott. Elliott will be back on with us next week, too. We'll be highlighting some more nonprofits in the community, and then we'll talk more about the run with Elliott as well. But now my joy and privilege to bring on who is joining us from the Junior Service League. She has been patiently waiting. President of the JSL, Miss Sandy Harding. Sandy, good morning.
Good morning.
And,
how are you? you. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I got to make sure that I get this on here correctly. 1 second. I'm kind of, I'm having to produce and run the show. Here we go. So good to see you, Sandy. How have you been?
Thanks.
Great to see you. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Doing good. So thankful to have you back.
Well, I joke around. This is a joke, by the way. So please, if anyone out there decides to be mean to me, please don't. But I always said, I said, if everyone was just mean, we would have never came back. But everybody was so nice in Huntsville that we had to come back. It was, whenever we left here, Sandy, to be honest with you, we knew in our hearts that we would be back in this community one day. And it was a great experience in Fargo. But again, this show is all about highlighting the positives and the great folks here in Huntsville. And it's the reason that we came back, because so many people are passionate, they care about each other, and just the commitment to serving others throughout the community, not just each other, but clubs that are getting involved, Lions Club, Rotary Club, so many others, and then JSL, Junior Service League. So wanted to give you an opportunity today to come on, tell us about the JSL and some events that you have coming up. Before we do that, though, how have you been and what have you been up to?
I've been doing great. Same, just looking at ways to try to serve the community, serve people through JSL or through other organizations. So honestly, I was born and raised here. So Rob, I'm never leaving. So, but I've just continued to also, like you said, enjoy the people of this community. This community is wonderful. And for like what you just said, for the way that it serves others, the amount of clubs and organizations that we have here that are always looking to do the better of Huntsville, it's unbelievable for such a small town, but it's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Sandy Harding joining us this morning here from the Junior Service League. We've talked to you before. It's been a while. Wanted to have you back on. Before we dig into some of the upcoming events that you guys are having, there may be somebody out there that's watching live right now, or they're going back on the audio podcast or watching this video and replay at a later time, and they're saying, what is the Junior Service League? Give us a little in-depth about JSL, how it got started. I say JSL. Is that okay? It's
Yes, listen, so many people refer to it as that. They refer to it as JSL. So, it's a Junior Service League, JSL. Either way, we don't mind. So we are a group of women and whose main goal is serving the community. We look for ways that we can serve other organizations in this town or serve the community in general. We always serve. You'll see us at different banquets. We've done Ducks Unlimited. We've done 2 Mile. We've done so many of them. Anybody that's trying to do a banquet, warrior banquets, we step in and kind of help be their volunteers on the ground. We are also very involved with like Head Start. We are one of the big organizations that helps coordinate Christmas presents for all of their children at Head Start, and then anything else that they possibly need. One of our biggest things that we love to impact is the children of the community. So right now, and we've been doing this for the past couple of years, we have a big hygiene project that we do where it is providing socks, underwear, toiletry items, anything like that for children of Huntsville. We service any school, anything that needs it. So anybody that says, hey guys, I'm really short on underwear for my children, I will go get new underwear, put them in a little bin, take them to them. And then our goal is to replenish those. But I mean, just beyond that, just to like toiletry items, we work with HISD on laundry detergent. We do shampoos, soaps, just those little things that, as a child, you need them, but we all know how expensive everything's gotten. So that has been our big project that goes ongoing. Between that and the food truck that a lot of people see, that Houston Food Bank comes every other month, and we'll have it at the Huntsville Church of Christ. And that is where we distribute food. We have an 18-wheeler that comes, and anybody's welcome. Anybody's welcome to come and get fresh food. And it's vegetables, it's staple items, breads, milks, just a variety of items that come. So those two projects have been a couple of our long-standing projects that have gone on for a long time. We are the ones that, with the gracious people of this community, we put in the Play for All playground at Cape Bar Ross. And so that was a huge project for us. And then the next project we have coming up is, our goal is to help redo the life skills area of Huntsville High School for the program, the 18 and older. So I've double checked with the school board, with, the principal, and even though the bond was passed in this town, that is made for like big infrastructure. Well, our goal is to impact the individuals. So they need like adaptive equipment. When I say equipment, I mean like kitchen, like they set it up kind of like an apartment to where they are teaching them how to help themselves later on in life. So our goal is to raise money to set up like an apartment in there, but with the adaptive equipment, things like a stove for somebody that's in a wheelchair can have the controls on the front. Washer and dryers to teach them how the proper hygiene, again, goes right back to hygiene. So we are working on raising money for that to be our next big project. Our goal is just, we are a bunch of moms or soon to be moms or moms that want, always a mom. Once you're a mom, you're always a mom. And so our goal is to help the children, because a lot of times those are the ones, and it goes right back to what Kaye's doing. Kaye's helping them on the academic side. The children are the ones that we have to help. They can't always help themselves. They need a little bit of help from the community for the little things they don't always have.
Again, we're talking this morning with Sandy Harding, the president of the Junior Service League here in Huntsville. Kay, I know you had a question for Sandy.
So, Sandy, do you take like soaps from when you go travel and you bring back soaps or shampoo or something like that?
Ma'am.
And how would we go about donating or bringing those to someone if you collected that, how would they get that to you?
Yeah, Kay, obviously born and raised here, so I'm familiar with every area of Huntsville. So if you have a drive that you want to collect those hygiene items, we would love to team up with anybody. But if you yourself personally has hygiene items, my husband loves it, but his family has the Ace Hardware in town. So I tell people, hey, drop it off there. He'll bring it home to me. I have so many wonderful members that are always around town. Leah, that has the flower shop, she is also teams up with us and helps us pick those items up. Jennifer Smock works at Stewart. So we also have the ability that we will drop them off to Stewart, and Jennifer is kind of like our coordinator of that. So she will help distribute them. She does a wonderful job where she sets it up in her room and all the nurses come through and kind of like shop throughout everything. So Jennifer is also more than willing that you can drop them off there at any time. But even if you just email into the JSL website or go on the website and email into our email address, somebody will respond. Somebody will come to you and pick those up. You can contact me personally at my own email or my cell phone, text, call me. I will come by there and pick them up. But yes, ma'am, that's exactly what we do. We get those travel items from people that are traveling. Or if you're out and about and you just say, hey, I see underwear at a great price, socks, any sizes, we take them all and we'll pick them up. And then, like I said, I put them in little bins and I distribute them out.
All right. Well, great stuff that Sandy and the Junior Service League is doing here in Huntsville. And we're working with Hello Huntsville here. Of course, my organization working with a couple of nonprofits now as we're trying to get together a donation drive. And this may be one of those things, absolutely, that we can support. I think hygiene is such an important thing. We were talking earlier this week on the show. I have a really good friend named Karen Crosby who has an organization called The Locker in Central Texas, and that is their focus, is all about hygiene with students, because there are kids out there. There are children out there. See, this is happening. She told me I can't say the word kids anymore because that's like a goat. So she's already educated. There are children out there, in all seriousness, that don't have basic items such as deodorant and socks and toothpaste and toothbrushes. And so I think a very worthy cause, and what you guys are doing has been phenomenal. Sandy, what are some upcoming events happening at the Junior Service League?
So right now, ongoing, and Elliott was a big impact on us, and then Walker County Title also was a big impact. That we just kind of have a raffle going on right now, that's where we are raising the money to do the life skills room. And Elliott donated to us a 2-carat pair of diamond in and out hoop earrings. And then Walker County Title donated to us a bolt action rifle. And the raffle tickets are $5 a piece. And so 100% of the proceeds of that is going towards what we are doing for those 2 items. And it's on our Facebook page as well. Rob, we have a Facebook page that shows you photos of those items and stuff like that. You can send us a message on Facebook if that's easy too, and we will get with you about raffle tickets. But we have applied for a match grant from HEB, and then we have also have another grant that we are applying for to kind of another match grant where our goal is for the Junior Service League alone to raise $10,000 minimum through this raffle. And so between that and then a couple of the match programs, that's kind of our big thing we're doing right now. An ongoing project always is our food truck. The next one we have coming up in May. And so it'll be the first weekend in May at Huntsville Church of Christ. And so that's coming up for us. Another big project we have going right now, and again, it goes right back to helping the children and it helps the kids at the high school, is Say Yes to the Dress. And Monday is our next event, and Tara Sykes and Kaylee Patrick have done it for the last couple of times, where they allow students of Huntsville High School, or any student can come in and they pick out a free prom dress. But not only do they pick out the prom dress, but we make them feel kind of like a Cinderella. We have shoes, we have accessories, any of that stuff. So that is another big thing that we've given out about 70 dresses so far, which is absolutely amazing, more than we've ever done in any year. And we still have this coming Monday as our last day, the 17th, that we're going to do it again. So if you have prom dresses laying around your house or somewhere that you're out and about and you see prom dresses at a really great price, we would love for anybody to always pick those up. Those are something that we take year round. We store them, we put them in bins, we store them so they stay in great condition. Salon ADK partners with us that allows people to drop their dresses off there, as well as just at the high school before the event. Now, after Monday, they'll go back to Salon ADK, but that is something else that is ongoing year round of us collecting the dresses, but we set up 2 to 3 days at the high school where these ladies get so excited and they can come in, they can try them on. Like I said, we take accessories, we take shoes, we take dresses, we take it all. If you're an organization that wants to say, hey, I want to donate somebody's hair or somebody's makeup or nails, all of that is something that's kind of currently going on within the next month is Say Yes to the Dress. And then our project of our food truck, of course, our ongoing raffle. We are busy right now this time of year.
Yeah, so much going on, and appreciate all the great work of the Huntsville Junior Service League. For more information, you can go to their website. I put it there on the screen for you, HuntsvilleJSL.com. And also, as Sandy said, please go like their Facebook page right now. All you got to do is search for Huntsville Junior Service League. It's got the beautiful piney logo there with Huntsville, Texas Junior Service League written on it. Again, Huntsville Junior Service League on Facebook. Please go there, like their page. That is the best place to keep up to date with all the events. Sandy, I'm going to ask you as well, any events or any PR information that you have to put out, press releases, please send those to us as well to hello@hellohuntsvilletx.com. Again, our email is hello@hellohuntsvilletx.com. We're building a community calendar, and we want to make sure that we have all the events from all the organizations going on so folks have a central location to go and find out, because, man, there are so many events happening in our community. Rather Park getting ready to unveil their new stage. By the way, there's going to be free food, hot dogs. And then the one thing that they made, I joked around with Garrick yesterday, Garrick Long, the one mistake that they made that I said it was a mistake is they wrote on that flyer, free beer. I don't know if I've ever seen an event that said free beer. So the whole town may show up to that one, Sandy.
Right. And listen, I love your calendar events because also organizations like reach out to our help at any time. And sometimes we can do it. Sometimes we can help, sometimes we can't. I mean, we are an organization of moms, so they all have busy little lives and busy children, but we still love, if I can send a lady or two, a volunteer, I would love to send them and to help anytime, register something. I mean, we're long time standing with organizations in this town. So I love the fact that you're doing this community calendar, because it may also be ways that we can tap into other organizations in this town. So, and anybody can come volunteer with us. If you want to serve on the food truck, you show up that day. That day, we have people show up from the community. We have high school kids show up. We have college kids show up. If you have somebody that needs community service hours, show up to any of those. Contact us. We'll help put you in contact with other places that really could use the volunteers. So absolutely, Rob, I will definitely send you our events because I love a community calendar.
Yeah, an opportunity there. And again, Sandy Harding joining us, president of Huntsville Junior Service League. Women doing incredible work. I got to tell Bridget, because she's a mama, and we got our Braylon. And so Bridget Bridget, if you're watching, sweetheart, maybe reach out to Sandy.
Yes.
Get you on the JSL. So
absolutely.
A lot of great things happening. Before we let you go, Sandy, I always like to ask our guests, you've been in Huntsville, you're born and raised here. What has made this community, I know you talked a little bit about it earlier, but just to reiterate it, what has made this community just so special? What do you love most about beautiful Huntsville, Texas?
I love the people, Rob. Like, I really do. I'm a people person. I love the people. Again, my husband and I both are born and raised here. I can't imagine living anywhere else. I can't imagine my kids growing up anywhere else. But the main thing is just the people, where you go and somebody, you say hello and they're so warm, and you go into a grocery store and the cashiers are so nice. Like, I mean, that's my thing. Small town is one of those things. Sometimes I think it's even bigger than I'm like, oh my gosh, can you shrink a little bit? But still, it is the people. It's the organizations where it truly, when people say you come to Huntsville, you feel like home. It really is. And I've known a lot of people that I graduated with that moved and said, I'm never coming back. And guess what? Years later, they come back.
There's a children's song, The Cat Came Back the Very Next Day.
There you go.
So the cat will always come back the very next day. That's the one and only time I'm going to sing this week on Good Morning Huntsville, by the way, Sandy. Sandy, thanks for being a part. Such a privilege, a tremendous blessing to have you in the community and the great work that you do as well. So God bless you. Continue to do the great work, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Once again, there was Sandy Harding. That's why I love Huntsville, and it's really cool because you come here and I'm not going to say other community names because, I mean, really not. There's a couple that come to mind, but it's all about positivity here. But there are some communities that you go to as a guest and like you're moving there and you don't feel welcome. And, I haven't moved into a community where I felt that. I've visited communities that way, but like when we moved to Fargo, we felt welcome there. When we moved to Huntsville, we felt extremely welcome here in Huntsville. And that's what I love about Huntsville. When you come in, you just do let me give you some advice if you're thinking about moving here. One, this community is all about its culture, and it's going to work hard to preserve the culture that has made this community so great. Two, as long as you do what you say you're going to do and you love on people and you're genuine, you are going to be accepted in this community. I can guarantee you that 100%. Those are the two biggest things that I see with Huntsville. And so when you come here, just be yourself, be honest with people, and people are going to embrace you and they're going to help you out. That's what this community is all about.
Yeah. I don't want to move anyplace else. I mean, I moved here and kind of didn't have any earthly idea what I was getting myself into when I moved here. But, the community welcomed us, and, I mean, the school has flourished. I had no idea that, when I moved here that would be the case, that, I've got family here. I mean, not any biological family here. I'm 525 miles away from my parents, but everybody here is part of my family. And that's, in fact, some of the core values at the school is our core value is family. We've got a description for every letter because it's just
that's what it
been
is.
Family.
Yeah.
Everything's family.
It's all about family. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. We will wrap it up when we come back here in just a few moments. So make sure to stay with us. Keep those comments coming. Billy Papa sending us a message saying, good morning. I call you Billy Papa, buddy. So good to see you this morning. Send those comments. We'll get to them here. Hey, by the way, do you have a birthday this past week, this month? Let us know. We want to give a little birthday shout-out love here on Good Morning Huntsville as well. And also, if you're an organization or just someone that's got an event happening, please let us know. You can email those events to hello@hellohuntsvilletx.com. Stay with us. We'll have one final segment when we come back. That's your show, Huntsville. It's Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be back here in just a few moments. Welcome back at it on a little Friday. Is it okay to say that? I said that up in Fargo. The guy that I used to do radio with was like, I don't ever say that again. I will. Friday. It's yay. It's Friday. Why not be excited about Friday, right? Right, Kay?
Yeah.
Come on, it's Friday.
Well,
But you know, when you own a business, it's like you work every day. So it's like Friday, I got to do stuff Saturday.
Well, in Montessori, we call what the children do their work.
Okay.
And so ideally, when you grow up, you fall into a job that you love. So it's not work to me. So it's not Friday because
Yay.
it's yay.
Every day is yay. Man, Kay, every day is yay with Kay. Come on. Can we celebrate today? All right. Well, a lot of fun here this morning. Hey, Stephanie Pitts joining us this morning. She said, good morning. Today is my daughter Ashley's 34th birthday. Happy
Birthday, Ashley.
birthday, Ashley. Well, just a great opportunity. Us from our friends over at Guardian Defense. Good morning, saying thank you for what you do. Great show. Appreciate you, Deneen, you and Jason and the entire Thompson family. There's literally, and I feel, man, I'll be honest, Deneen, Jason, y'all know this, but I feel bad because, you know, I don't want to like ever feel like I'm taking advantage of someone's generosity. The Thompson has helped me move literally 5 times in the past 2 years. And I am forever in debt to not only this community, but folks like Deneen and Jason and Ricky. They have been tremendous. They do a great job with their business, Guardian Defense, and have an awesome gun range and things here in Huntsville. But literally, they brought a trailer all the way to Georgetown. It's a 3-hour drive, and helped me move. And I'm going to tell you something, without getting emotional, that was the weekend that my grandmother passed away. And to have them there during that time, that really took my mind off of losing somebody that I was really close to, that I'd spent, 93 years of her life and almost every day of my adult life with. And Jason and Denise, I don't know if I ever told you that, but you don't know how much, Jason, that meant to me during that time, because I didn't want to forget about her passing, but I just didn't want to sit there and dwell on it. I wanted to think about the good things. And having you guys in town when that happened, man, it was just, it meant a lot to me. So, again, it's the love of Huntsville. It never goes away. Elliot was talking earlier about, we were talking about Elliot's business, Elliot's Jewelers. He is our studio sponsor, by the way. And I had taken off my ring and flashed it around. And Kay said, wait a minute. Kay, you've got some beautiful Elliot's jewelry on as well.
Yes, I do.
So he's taking care of you also. So custom jewelry.
Taking care of Rick. Maybe Rick was trying to get out of trouble. I'm not sure. But.
Okay. So that's, yeah, if you go in to Elliot's Jewelers as a lady, you need to like tap your man on the shoulder and be like, dude, what am I doing here? You need to be going for me. But Bridget and I went in together because Bridget wanted a band. They have this new thing now, and it's, ladies, come on. They call it like push gifts. Have you heard of that?
No.
Push gifts? Elliot has. He's shaking his head yes. It's a new trend. It's just ways to get more. Elliot knows it. He's like, come on, man. We love push. What did I call it? Push?
They're not new.
Yeah, what was it called, though? Push? What did I just say? Push?
Push gifts.
Yeah, push gifts. And Elliot got excited because he's like, yeah, we love it because it's good for the jewelry business. Push gift is, when you're having a baby, you get another piece of jewelry. And so, of course, Elliot loves it. But, yeah, it's just, I took Bridget over there because I'd got her an engagement ring, and then we wanted a little band for it. And it was really hard to try to match up, at least before I knew Elliot, it was hard to match up that band that Bridget wanted with the existing engagement ring. And Elliot was like, literally within 5 seconds said, here, I've got something perfect. And it fit it perfectly. It looks like it's part of the original engagement ring, but it's not. But it looks like it. And that's the service you're going to get from Elliot's Jewelers, elliotsjewelers.com. Kay, been a lot of fun today. Still got a few minutes. We've talked a lot about Huntsville. A lot of folks joining us as well. Carol Vaughn talking about the Thompsons, saying they're amazing folks. Appreciate you joining us this morning, Carol. Bridget was joining us. Love you, sweetheart. Terry Neitch, good friend all the way back in Georgetown, saying good morning to us. Justin Kring, #1 Huntsville Hornet fan, is on this morning as well. A lot of folks throughout our Facebook groups. I don't see the names on those because they don't come across. But someone there, Kay, I had to show this, said, I am thankful for Kay.
Aw.
How about that? So, great people here in Huntsville. I got to tell you, too, we got stuff lining up all next week. What day did you say that you were going to be our co-host?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So Kay will be with me every single Wednesday now. They are one of our Foundation 5 Spotlight sponsors that are helping us get started. Of course, we couldn't be here in this studio without Elliott's Jewelers. He really set the foundation for us as far as our studio goes. And then we have 5 other sponsors, and several of those now coming on board. And what's going to be a lot of fun, and the way that this is going to work is every day of the week, Monday through Friday, there's going to be a co-host. Elliott will be coming in as a guest, joining us every other week, but we will have a static co-host on every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday will be Kaye. And we do have more sponsors that are coming on.
So viewership will be down on Wednesday.
No, viewership will be through the roof on Wednesday because, Rick is going to join us, So if he joins us, viewership will go down.
Oh.
But as long as you're here, viewership will stay up. But, hey, throughout the week, friends, I want to encourage you, in all seriousness, please let us know what's going on in the community. One thing that we're working on, this is under the Hello Huntsville platform. Excited to bring this here to Huntsville. It's an idea that I had after purchasing a similar business several years ago in Georgetown. I wanted to bring this to Huntsville a couple of years ago. The timing wasn't right. And now being here and back in this community, the timing has been perfect. But it's a platform that is all about all things good here in Huntsville. We're working on guides, a downtown business guide that is sponsored by our good friend Paul Ollie with the gallery. By the way, if you need custom framing, photography, please go by, support local business. Paul Ollie right next door to us. We work with him on this project here at Hello Huntsville. But please go by and see my good friend Paul and bring him your business, family photography, portraits, commercial. Maybe you need business photography. Paul is your guy. He is the man. He's been here in Huntsville forever. Go by and see him, please, at the gallery, 1201 University Avenue. But we're going to put together a downtown guide that's sponsored by Paul and the gallery, and we're going to feature all the businesses right downtown here in Huntsville. So we may get with the DBA, Downtown Business Alliance, and get them to help us a little bit with that. But we want to make sure that we outline that. We're going to have a summer guide. What to do this summer in Huntsville. A lot of things to do. So we'll have that guide. That'll be available to be sponsored. One thing, believe it or not, that people have reached out to me is they've said, we want an area to where we can find out. And this is, I talk about lifting up things. This is one of those things that, yeah, you can lift up someone through their legacy, but we've actually had someone reach out saying we wanted to find a place to where we could easily find obituaries in the community and just kind of put all that together under one platform. So we will be accepting obituaries as well. We'll have those listed. And we'll have someone sponsor that as well. But then continuing on, we're going to have a place where to go swimming in Huntsville. We're working on that guide, a relocation guide. Maybe you're interested in moving here. We're going to highlight all the great things and why you should move to Huntsville, what to do in Huntsville. There's of course, we have our prison museum, we have the statue, but there's a lot of things to do in this community. So we're going to highlight that in the guide as well. Just so many different options and things that we are working on behind the scenes that if you've went to the website before, please continue to go back because we are going to highlight those things as time goes on. And maybe this morning too, you're a business saying, hey, I'd like to hop on the show once in a while. I'd like to get my name out there. I'd like an article on the website. We have a business booster package that we are putting together that we're going to unveil next week as well. And so that's another way that you can promote your business. But our Foundation 5, along with Elliott, these are the folks such as Kaye that are really helping us get going. We appreciate them very much, and Elliott for laying the initial foundation for us to get rolling. Kaye, been a lot of fun.
Had a great time.
We're going to do it again next week. So what does the rest of the day look like for you?
I have a meeting at 9.
Okay.
And
mimosas at 9:30.
No.
She's like, no, we don't know mimosas.
And got some reports I got to get out.
And then but it's not work. It's fun. So that's what it's all about. Next week, you want to make sure you join us because I know we talked a little bit about Montessori, but especially on Wednesday, we're going to dig more into what is Montessori, how important of a role does it play in your children's lives, and then we'll talk more about Kaye's event, of course, coming up, or the Montessori's event coming up with the 5K fun run and how to be involved. So that'll wrap it up. A lot of fun here this morning. Want to encourage y'all to get up, make a difference today. Somebody out there is going to need you, and you can be that person that shines the light. When somebody is in a shadow of darkness, you are that person today that can really make a difference. So,
sometimes you're the only smile they see.
And that's what they need. And I want you to think about that. You may be going through a situation this morning to where you're beat up, you're defeated, you're not feeling good, you're bitter, you're angry. I always encourage you to get better, not bitter. And I heard that from a pastor several years ago, and it has stuck with me every day. It's not faking it, it's faith in it. And there's nothing wrong with you putting a smile on your face even though you were going through a bad time. It doesn't mean forget about what's happening to you. You need to find somebody, you need to latch on to somebody for help if you're going through a difficult situation. But put a smile on. Everything, I guarantee you, is going to be all right. And especially if you're here in Huntsville, Texas, there's a lot of people that want to embrace you and help you out. Feel free to reach out. And we'd love to hear from you. Again, if you got events, email us, hello@hellohuntsvilletx.com. That'll wrap it up here on a Friday from downtown. Our studio is sponsored by Elliott's Jewelers. As we end every show, I want to remind you here this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until next week, have a wonderful weekend. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you later.
God bless.